Hello, my queen. I done knocked my doggone salt lamp over. Hello, my queen. It is your esoteric ethereal Empress Divine, Miss Tasha Turner herself. Welcome to Queendom Come. I'm here today. I thought about doing a daily, but then something else crossed my mind because I've been doing a lot of tarot reading, watching on YouTube. I just want to, get to know what's really going on in the YouTube community, because I just really started, I guess, knowing that people did tarot readings on YouTube like a month before I started my channel here. Like I told y'all, if y'all watched the first video that I ever posted here on this channel, I was saying how I used to do like tarot readings on Facebook, like just in groups and, amongst my little Facebook friends or Facebook family or whatever. I do like the picker card readings, or I do just like an energy 3-card spread, reading for the day. That's what I was posting on my Facebook. And I don't know why, because I was doing this like 2 years ago. I don't know why in all that time I never thought to look into the YouTube community for tarot readers. Call me late, whatever. I'm always late. But anyway, I've really been into like this divine masculine, divine feminine thing. Of course, divine feminine is my focus, but because of my own personal situation, I've been looking at the divine masculine, like channeling videos, and a lot of them just don't hit me the way I need to be hit. And I came across a couple people though who they smack dab on it, and I was like, well, let me see, let me do a reading and see what comes up here as far as like a twin flame situation. I just went to shuffling. I shuffle, and cards just kind of went flying out at me. So I was like, okay, let me grab these cards and see what they say. I laid 4 cards out, and I was like, oh my God. I had no intention of doing a reading on myself. I was just like, well, let me see what I can get or gather, from spirit regarding this divine masculine, divine feminine. Because this is my very first time doing that type of reading. And I was like, oh my God, this is like spot on with everything that I've been feeling in my own situation. So I was like, well, let me put this spread and this reading, let me do it on my channel and see if it resonates with anyone else. Because I don't know if I'm about to send you to your room. I'm sorry, y'all, my children always be interrupting. It's funny how as soon as I said something to him about all that coughing, that fake coughing he was over there doing, he hushed. That's children for you. But anyway, I did this reading and I was like, oh my God, this really resonates with me. Let me see if it resonates with anybody else. So I'm just going to shift the camera down, let you see what we're working with here. Yeah. So these right here, those were the 4 cards that came out, just like kind of shot out at one time. These 2 right here just kind of explain the situation. So I asked for some clarifiers and got those here. Then I asked for like just some clarity on each of the, figures. The king and this empress here, and they gave me some clarification there. So I'm going to go into that with you all today. If you would like to listen to what I have to say, I will go into it for you, and hopefully this kind of gives you some guidance or something about your own twin flame situation, because it definitely helped me out. Like, I don't really go by what a lot of people say. I go by what I feel. And checkpoint. So I'm just the messenger. If it resonates, good. That's why I wanted to share it. Anyway, when I was shuffling and just, trying to see if I can get a message about twin flames or something for the divine feminine, about the divine masculine, or just about this relationship, unions or whatnot, I pretty much showed, of course, the Two of Cups came up. This is like the twin flame, the union here, the twin flame relationship situation, whatever it is. The love, the camaraderie, the partnership. That's the cups, the Two of Cups. And then we have the Ten of Swords. So this is symbolizing a couple that is currently like on the outs with each other. Like I guess you would call it, how do they say it on these YouTube streets? Twin flame in separation. Yeah. So with this Ten of Swords is reading, lay down. This Ten of Swords is reading separation to me, because this is like the conflict of all conflict. Like this is like mass war, explosive fighting. Like one sword would do the job. It's 10 of them hoes in this card. So it was something like, it was either something like a big blow up. Somebody had a big blow up. Somebody's I guess divine feminine and divine masculine, they had a blow up at each other. Like you said some words that were probably really harsh. Probably some cursing going on, more than likely some cursing. So you cursed him out, he cursed you out. You finally snapped on him, he finally snapped on you. He was being very abusive with his words, so you left. You were being abusive with your words, so he left. Either way, it was like some type of really harsh communication. Really, really harsh communication. Some type of mental conflict between the two of you. It was just like, just can't get right. This can't get right card. Like there's nothing right about this. Any way you flip it, it's going to be a lot of conflict. But the thing about this is that this is like a painful endings due to conflict card, but it's a painful ending so that you can have a beginning. Anytime you have an ending, you have a beginning. And the lessons learned from this painful ending are going to incorporate into this reading. Again, these first two cards was the first one that came out was the Two of Cups. The Ten of Swords came behind it. Then, you know, that's the relationship that's in separation, that was broken down, that ended. And then we had the actual people in the relationship. The King of Cups as divine masculine, and then you have the Empress as divine feminine. This is like the ultimate feminine card. So I was like, oh yeah, I'm Empress divine, and this is the Empress card, and this is the most feminine card, and I'm like divine feminine, Empress. Yeah, I need to be, you know, giving this reading. And the Ten of Cups. Okay, so the Ten of Cups, divine masculine. Now, I'm going to tell y'all what I get from this card. This is a very calm, serene type vibe of a person by appearance. By appearance. Because this card comes after. It came after the Ten of Swords. So I'm thinking it's probably him. It's probably him that was saying some things that should not have been said. But this is the type of man, like he has that cool, calm exterior, like very strong, silent type-esque. Like that's the type of vibe he gives me. He has very deep emotions. Very deep emotions that he does not show. Like he's very in control of his emotions, so he does not wear his heart on his sleeve. You probably have no idea how deep his emotions are, because he doesn't allow them to overflow. Like, well, that's probably not a good example on this card, but like he doesn't allow them to spill over, even though on this cup it overflows. And I'll go more into that overflowing cup in just a minute. But this is that the King of Cups. This is like a watery guy, so you may be dealing with like a Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer, some type of way. Maybe Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Mars, stelliums in water houses, that type of thing. Just heavy water energy. But a very calm, cool, collected guy facing here focused on his feelings, facing the Empress, you, me, divine feminine. You know, she's just kind of sitting there, just as cool as she should be. Very, very cool as she should be. And that's the pretty much the relationship that was the gist of the first 4 cards that just kind of shot out while I was shuffling. A loving relationship. There are feelings here. Don't get it wrong. Just because they're in separation, it doesn't mean that there are feelings here. So it's a relationship built on feelings, or with deep feelings, that had a separation, a painful ending, an explosive ending. More likely than not, due to something that this King of Cups said. And, you know, out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. I was saying he's very, you know, he has deep feelings. And even though he may be that strong, silent type on the exterior, this is somebody who, you know, okay, anybody who's that in touch with their feelings, they are going to know what to say to trigger you, or they're going to know what to say to hurt your feelings. If they deal in the emotions, they know how to manipulate others' emotions. And more than likely, he was saying something that you were just like, you know what, this is it. I don't deserve this. I'm better than this. I want more out of a relationship than a man who's going to like cut me down and emotionally abuse me. So, you know, I got to biz out. And, you know, that was the separation. Then I asked for some information about this relationship, this partnership, this twosome with underlying emotions involved, and the separation, the painful ending, the split. I asked for some clarification on that, like what happens after that, and got the 10 of Cups. Now, how one goes from the 10 of Swords to the 10 of Cups, which is pretty much like everything you want in life, your heart's desires, like wishes fulfilled, abundance of happiness and love. That's what this card is. I asked, how did it go from the painful ending to this everything you could want and more? Like, that's a huge jump. How do we get there? And I got the 9 of Pentacles. The 9 of Pentacles is hard work. It's letting go of everything that could possibly bring you down from the past and putting in the hard work to make something be what you want it to be. And at the point that this card came up, I was like, bingo. Because we do a lot of focusing on like watching these readings with the divine masculine and, you know, what is he doing? And people leaving comments, you know, it don't matter what he do, he never come back to me. Like, just people be going off in these comments on these divine masculine, divine feminine videos. Like, if you haven't watched it, if you haven't went and saw the comment section, just go take a little look, take a little gander. People be going off in the comment section. But, yeah, the 9 of Pentacles. I'm like, yeah, it's going to take some hard work. Because some of the things that have been done in the relationship, that 10 of Swords, like, it's a lot to try to come back from. Like, that's a lot. But, like, you have to just leave. You can't keep dwelling on the past. Like, 9 to me is like, well, okay, if I think about the 9th house in astrology, it's like expansion, you know, broadening your horizons. Going forward, going outward, as opposed to keep running back to the same old thing, like exploring new things. You can't keep looking back. You can't keep looking back and expecting to move further. You can't move forward with somebody. So how are you going to move forward into a reunion when you're still going over and over in your head, or you still replaying stuff that happened in the past? You know, so it's hard. It's not going to happen overnight. Nothing about Pentacle energy is overnight. Pentacles is always, first off, is earth. And any changes that happen with the earth, you already know that Mother Gaia is a slow bitch. Like, things don't, a mountain is not built in a day. You know, rivers are not carved in a day. things about Earth take time, they take patience, they take investment. And that's what you get with that Knight of Pentacles card. That's how you get to the Ten of Cups. It's going to take hard work. And everybody knows. Some people see Pentacles and they're like, ooh. Some people see Earth energy and, I mean, I got to wait. I mean, I got to actually work. Yes, it does. I mean, you have to actually work. But before I get into that last card here, when the cards, the original 4 that came out, you know, that 2 of Cups, then that 10 of Swords, followed by the 2 cards symbolizing the Divine Masculine and Divine Feminine, I told you that I pulled cards to just kind of give us some insight onto what each of these parties is feeling. And with the King of Cups, I got the Moon. Now this is major. This is major. That means, like, of the 2 parties, the Divine Masculine and the Divine Feminine, the Divine Masculine is going through it much more than the Divine Feminine is right now. Like, no matter how much you may have felt like he hurt you, or even if he didn't hurt you, even if you're just like in separation because of like work, or he's deployed or something, even the like agony of being out of his presence, like, it's not anywhere near as tough as what he's feeling right now. This is the major arcana, and his, you know, clarifier or his card for insight on him is major. He's the one that's going through it right now, and especially with the Moon, because the Moon is saying to me that in addition to seeing things that he didn't want to see about himself, like, in addition to that, like, he's having to deal with, it's almost like psychic insight. Like, he's getting these major downloads and he's knowing, like, I have to change. So it's not just like, you know, you're just going about it and going about life and you get an inkling or something, you know, just an inclination to make a change. Like, okay, it's time for me to have a better diet, or it's time for me to start, you know, taking better care of my hair or something like that. Something small or insignificant. Well, not insignificant, because the Divine Feminine is making these type of, you know, life changes that I'm talking about right now. Just things to better yourself. It's not just little things like that that he's having to deal with. He's seeing a side of himself that he never knew. It's like he is being revealed to himself, probably because of the things that the Empress or the Divine Feminine said to him before y'all split ways. You probably, you know, dropped some little nuggets in his mind, and now he's starting to see things that he didn't see before. But on top of that is like, he's getting like this psychic insight, and it's all a lot to deal with right now. It's a whole lot to deal with. Now, the Moon card also deals with like, how can I put this? You can associate it with like moods or your mental state. So the King of Cups, like, this person with these deep emotions, and he keeps them repressed, because the King of Cups is like this guy. He's not seen as like overly emotional or spilling over with emotion, but he does have deep emotions. If he has all of that simmering beneath the surface, he could very well be dealing with some mental issues also. Now, trust me, I can run you a list of diagnoses and hand you a box full of prescriptions that I'm supposed to be taking. So I empathize with the Divine Masculine, especially being a man with mental illnesses or like hormonal imbalances or chemical imbalances in his mind. That's a hard pill to swallow in today's society. You know, like mental health awareness is, you know, it is climbing, it is on the rise, but you know, being a man and having emotions is hard either way in this society. In Western society, a man with emotions is, you know, he might be looked at as like a simp or a punk or, you know, a little bitch. You know, stuff like that. You know how people are. You know how people are. So he does a lot of like repressing emotions, and it's not good. Because like this person, when you have somebody with a mental illness, a lot of times it comes from childhood tragedy or trauma. And for him to have gone this long in life without letting it out, it's hard for him. So he's dealing with all of this at this time, and that could have, well, it did. It influenced the things that he was, this, state of his mind or whatever. It influenced his behavior prior to the separation of, the twin flame relationship. It influenced it. So he's dealing with a lot right now. He may be in, like, you only see the moon. If the moon is out, then that means it's night. So at nighttime, it's kind of, you kind of leery, you kind of looking, stuff make you jump, you real jumpy, you real skittish at night. So this is him, he's dealing with a lot, y'all. It's like trust issues, especially with a water sign. He probably has trust issues on top of a possible case of mental illness, a little manic depression here, a little OCD there, a little, borderline personality disorder over there. It's all kind of stuff he could be dealing with. And the moon also deals with mother. So he might have some mommy issues. His mommy might have hurt him. So you just have to be really gentle. Like, these are things you have to think about. Like, a lot of time the divine feminine is like, well, he better do this or he better do that. If he think he want to come back this way, he better be doing this, and he better jump through some hoops, and he better hit some flips and some tricks for me, and he better do it. He better come provide. That baby is hurting. That baby is struggling. That's not what he needs from you right now. That's not what he needs from you right now, divine feminine. And if you're really going to be in this aura, in this capacity, if you really are in your divine feminine grace, you chill. He knows. With emotions that deep, he knows. Dealing with the psychic downloads and stuff, he knows. Not only does he know, he feels. The King of Cups feels. He feels what he has done to you. He feels your absence. Now he feels the love that he has for you. He feels regret. He feels remorse. He feels lonely. He feels worried. Because you're so beautiful. You're so beautiful, and any man would be a fool to not want you. So he worries that you're going to end up with somebody else. And he's just dealing with a lot. It's quick to say, oh, he's just being a victim, and he being, what about what he did to me? But, I mean, everybody, before you evolved, before you became Empress, who did you hurt? What did you say to somebody in a relationship that you know was wrong? What did you say that to hit somebody below the belt because it was helping you feel better? Because y'all know hurt people hurt people. So what were you doing before you became her? When you was not the Empress, what did you do? What did you say? How did you behave? When you get to a point of divine love, which starts with loving yourself and seeing yourself for who you are, which is the journey that he's currently on. He's having to learn who he is before he can love somebody else. Before you got to this point in your ascension, or to this point in your evolution, can you identify with some of the things that he was doing and saying? Can you? When I asked about some clarity on the Empress, or just her state of mind, or something about her, I got the Page of Swords. The Empress with the Page of Swords is a very quick-witted woman. You ain't nobody's fool. You ain't nobody's fool. So you don't put up with a lot of mess. So I get, trust me, when I'm talking about, when I'm putting the focus on you, divine feminine, I'm not doing that because I'm taking up for the divine masculine, because I am my sister's keeper. I'm a woman's woman. And I'm going to always advocate for my sister girls, for my queens, my honeys. I'm always going hard for y'all. But I mean, you so quick with it. And you so smart. just think, you know, think about how he feels going through all of this, you know. Like, I feel like with these two cards, it's telling me that you do have the capacity to understand, at least. Like, you don't have to allow those thoughts to get the best of you, because the Page of Swords with the Empress is like, once again, like a quick-witted woman, a woman who thinks quickly on her feet, who can survey a situation and kind of, you know, look at it from a bird's eye view. Like, it's a very high level of mental power. But on the same token, this woman with this high level of mental power can also sometimes get in her head. And when you allow thoughts to ruminate in your mind and you don't control them, like if you don't control that sword, it can cut, it can harm, it can damage. So instead of allowing yourself to replay over and over and over and over again in your mind what he may have done or what he may have said to hurt you, or that you didn't like, or maybe that led to the reunion, or if you're not, you know, at odds but still in separation, instead of thinking about, oh, I hate this, I don't like not being around, instead of focusing on his absence, focus on how much you admire his presence. Like, focus on how much you feel for him, the love you feel for him. Like, you have to focus. And even, you know, in every other area of life right now, your focus is impeccable. Like right here in this card, she's focusing on her little dilly dallies, her little toys or whatever. Like you're focused on your 3D, on the things you can change. Like I was saying earlier, like maybe changing your diet, changing your hair, and somebody might be going natural. That's the Empress card. Or a woman, you might be leveling up. Like you may go from a woman who did not wear a lot of makeup to a woman who wears makeup, you know, every day. Or somebody who was always in tennis shoes and now you are wearing dresses and skirts and heels. You know, that type of thing. That's where you're focusing yourself, your energy on right now. And that's good. That's good. We want to keep that up. Now I want to go back right quick to earlier when I was talking about, okay, how did this painful ending in the relationship, how does it result in the 10 of Cups, which is like wish fulfillment, like a truly fulfilling love? How did it get there? We said the Knight of Pentacles, that hard work, forgetting the past, only looking forward with your goal in mind. That's what we got. Now, as far as like, I asked like who would be the real catalyst, like who would play the biggest part in getting this reunion back together and putting in the hard work. And I ain't gonna lie to you, I was hoping that something pertaining to the divine masculine would pop out. Like maybe he'll come charging in, you know, like a brave knight and sweep me off of my feet and, you know, carry me over the threshold, you know, and all that jazz. But, you know, no such luck. I got the 3 of Wands, which isn't a bad thing because it connects with this. This 3 of Wands is one of the Empress's, you know, one of her little tricks up her sleeve. She has the 3 of Wands. The Empress is the 3. The wand falls under her reign. So it's going to be the drive of the Empress. It's going to, in this situation, baby girl, you are going to have to take the lead. Now, this is still a feminine card, and femininity is all about receptivity. Like being able to receive. Did I say that? Receptivity, whatever. You know, receiving. You are not an active pursuer, giver, blase. Like that's Mars energy for men. Going after something, blazing ahead. That is Mars energy. You are Venus. Venusian, baby. You are Venus, attraction. You bring it in. The Empress attracts. Now, your attraction is going to depend on your desire to build this relationship, to create something beautiful with your divine masculine. That's what's going to have to be your focus. Because again, like, just the way I see it, and oh my God, y'all. Oh yeah, This especially is probably going to especially like hit you more if you're like an air sign, because the Page of Swords is like airy air. The page has that, you know, that airy type, effervescent vibrancy, like newness, fresh. That's the page, and then you have air on top of it, so it's like airy air. So you're probably like an air woman. Aquarius, Libra, Gemini, or, you know, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Mars aspects, stelliums in air houses, whatever. You get what I'm saying. You, Miss Lady, it's all in your mind. And I hate to say it like that, like, because I don't mean it like in the sense that like you're crazy, but you create reality in your mind. Worlds are created in the mind. Like, you have so much power over this situation. The Empress is in her most divine power when she's just sitting there confident in who she is. I don't care about no karmic relationships, or I don't see none of that. I don't care about none of that. In my personal, like, own situation with the divine masculine, I don't see nobody better than me. And that could be my Leo moon, baby. That could be my Leo moon very well, but I don't see anybody better than me. And I don't think he does either. And like, nobody can sway me from that. Like, my belief in that is so strong that I'm pretty sure, like, through telepathy or something, he feels the same. Like, I'm influencing him to not feel that way. That moon card that he got, where he's getting these psychic insights, like, he can feel that love, that energy, anything that you send to him via psychic waves from your heart chakra, anything you vibrate out regarding this man, is like, he gonna download it, he gonna feel it, he gonna know it. And y'all out here in these YouTube streets talking down on your divine masculine. He can go to hell. He can kiss my ass. He could do this, he could do that. He'll have to show up with $1 million for me to even open the door for him. Y'all, love is patient. Love is kind. Love is long suffering. I don't know exactly, you know. Y'all know which verses out the Bible I'm talking about. I can't quote you the exact chapter and passage. I'm sure it's in 1 Corinthians, though. I'm not sure. Something just told me to say 1 Corinthians. I don't know. If it's not, if that little, you know, love is patient, love is kind, if that's not in 1 Corinthians, then somebody tell me what about love is in the book